Greetings from Finland. Today we're gonna take a look at my Saiga rifle. It's chambered in 223, and we are gonna take a look at the basic disassembly and replacement of the handguard and muzzle device. So we're gonna start with checking the rifle, because I know the YouTubers loves to see the rifles being cleared as if I ever didn't check my rifles myself, but we'll do it together. So first we're gonna remove the magazine and place it aside. It's empty, by the way. Switch down the safety. I need to loosen it up a bit. And we're gonna check clear. There it is. Now, the steps we're gonna take are fairly simple, and you don't need any specialty tools. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with basic field strip. And first you're gonna remove the dust cover. On the rear end there's the push button that's from the recoil spring. You're gonna push it in and just lift the dust cover up. Remove it like so. After that, you're gonna push in on the recoil spring. It sits in this rails here. Gonna push it in and lift it up, pull it out from the bolt carrier. The next thing is you're gonna pull it back on the bolt carrier / piston rod, which also holds the bolt in. You're gonna pull it out, lift it up. There you go. Your rifle is ready to be cleaned and taken care of. The next thing we're gonna do is we are going to remove the handguard. And the rifle comes with its own cleaning kit, and some of the items are stowed in one of these aluminium cases. And on the outer surface of the case, you have these little holes, and these can be used as a tool. To remove the upper handguard / gas pipe, you can use this hole to turn this lever up. So we're gonna do that. There you go. And this lever frees the gas block, the gas tube to be lifted up. There you go. Fairly simple. The next thing, to remove the lower handguard. On the inside of the handguard, you can see this. There's a metal piece holding it this way. And to unlock this metal piece, you need to lift up this small lever here. Lift it up, turn it the other way, which loosens up this block here. Might be a little stuck, so you can just push towards the edge of the barrel, the end of the barrel with the handguard, and it comes flush out from the receiver. And there you go, it's removed. And the last thing we're gonna remove is the flash hider. On the right edge of the flash hider of the rifle, you see this little notch here, and there's actually a spring resistance behind this, and it's basically locking the muzzle device from being dethreaded. It's actually not even tightened all the way down. Instead, you just tighten it as far as you can so that this still catches the muzzle device. So you're gonna be, you can use your finger, your nail, or a tool to press down on the locking mechanism. And once you push it down, just start unthreading. There, it catches up again. We're gonna keep on screwing, unthreading it and unscrewing it until it comes completely off. There you go. As you can see on this Saiga model, which is the Mark 103, I think, after the muzzle threads, the barrel keeps protruding out from this these barrel threads, which creates some limitations on which muzzle devices you can attach to it, because many of the Eastern Bloc muzzle devices have some sort of internal structures inside them. For example, we are going to install this muzzle device from Armacon, and inside this cylinder there is actually a cone-shaped, sort of inverted funnel shape inside it, so as to circulate the gases coming from the barrel after a shot's been fired, circulate the gases and make them come out so that it reduces the flash significantly. So the cone shape inside this actually won't allow me to install this without modifications. So what I've done is, I didn't want to cut my barrel down. So what I did is I just cut the cone shape inside this. I'm not going to open the muzzle device now to show you, but I basically cut it down half so it's shorter. So it's definitely going to impact the effectiveness of the muzzle flash hiding qualities of this muzzle device, but it's still going to work, and looks before function, right? So we're gonna go ahead and install this. Fairly simple. Just start threading it down. Again, you need to press down on this locker here, locking mechanism. And there you go. We could screw it a little bit tighter still, but I'm gonna leave it there for the sake of this video. It's good enough. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the lower handguard. The one we are going to install is also Russian made. It's from Armacon. And the way you install it is the rear end of the handguard goes into the receiver and you just lift up. Meanwhile, this part right here that we needed to unsecure to remove the original handguard, it sits in this little slot here on the handguard, and once it's in place, we can use the lever, this lever, to lock it in place. And it still functions well because it has a sling D-ring here, so you can use it as a sling attachment point. And this lever locks it in place so it doesn't hang loosely inside there. Next thing is we're going to install a new gas tube. And this is also from Armacon. And we are going to install this. The thing with this gas tube is it's got the full-length Picatinny rail on top of it to install any optics or other devices. And one might be curious if it's going to hold zero, but as you can see here on the rear end, it's actually going to screw down onto the lower handguard, and it's going to be very robustly secured, and I have no doubt that it's going to retain zero just fine. What I did there is I just fiddled with the lever here to make sure this surface here on the rear side block is flush so that the gas tube can just slide down. So you install the front end first, and then you just slide the rear in like so. And then we're going to use the provided screws, and of course you should always use at least a medium level thread locker on these types of attachment points, to make sure the parts do not come loose in heat, and so that your possible sighting system does not lose zero. But for the sake of this video, we're not going to use any thread locker now, so that I'm able to keep uninstalling and installing these parts easily. There you go. I used a 3mm Allen key for this, and it's tightened down. These parts from Armacon are robust, and as you can see, there's MLOK slots on the sides and the bottom, as well as QD sling stud holes on the sides to use any modern type QD sling mounts. The thing we have to still do is lock down this lever here. So we're gonna use the cleaning kit case again with the hole. Gonna grab that lever and just twist it down, and that's done. We are done here. Excuse me. We're gonna assemble the rifle now. We're gonna start with the piston rod, bolt carrier bolt unit. Just start by inserting the piston rod into the gas tube here, from the receiver to the gas tube, and then make sure on this rear end here that your bolt carrier gets seated into the slide slots here of the receiver, and push it forward. Then you take your recoil spring, insert it inside the bolt carrier, and push it in, and make sure it seats here into the rails of the rear end of the receiver. Almost done. Gonna take still the dust cover, seat it first here on the front end inside this little slot or part here below the rear sight. And after it's seated, we're gonna press it down on the rear end, and we're gonna make sure that this rear button of the recoil spring protrudes all the way out, making sure it's locked in. The rifle is now assembled, but before we go on, we will still install one part. This part is also from Armacon, and it's going to be installed on the charging handle. Operating the charging handle is pretty cruel on your hands and on your gloves. So we are going to install this charging handle knob that makes it a little bit larger, which is good, easier to operate, and also it's going to be more forgiving for your hands and or your gloves. There you go. We're gonna still check operation. Rifle is empty, and it says bang should it be loaded. We can now turn the safety on, and the rifle is kitted with new furniture. And of course, you could keep remodeling this rifle by replacing the dust cover with a more Gucci one, maybe one with some sort of Picatinny rail on top of it, and or you could replace the stock on the rifle to match your liking, maybe an AR buffer tube type stock, or any other kind that there are that is available on the market. Now, an interesting thing about this gas tube selection here, should you choose to install a red dot optic on this gas tube rail, it's smart to note that, as you can see, the level of the iron sights is a little bit higher than this gas tube rail. And if you mount a smaller micro type red dot optic on this rail directly, not using any higher mount on it, you can actually co-witness your iron sights through that micro optic, should it be an Aimpoint, Holosun, or any other micro dot optic that is available on the market. So that's an interesting little thing to note, should you want to co-witness your iron sights through your micro dot. Other than that, we are done here. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting, or maybe even educational. And we'll be back with other videos, who knows when. See you later. Greetings from Finland.